What's the deal, YouTube? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. First and foremost, like to say, I hope all y'all vibrating at a high frequency. Not letting no negative energy stop y'all positive energy. And as you can see by the title, today I want to talk to y'all about why it's important to live below your means. And I made this video previously before, but I felt like I didn't really give a lot of good information in the video, right? So I deleted it and I decided to make it again when I had time, and now I got time. So why it's important to live below your means. And I'm going to explain to you what living below your means is and living above your means is. Living below your means is the money that you're spending is less than the money that you have coming in. So say, for instance, your bills are about $1,500 a month and you make about $2,500 to $3,000 a month. You're living below your means. So after you pay your bills every month, you still have money left over. You know what I'm saying? And living above your means will be if your bills are $1,500 a month and you only make $1,000 a month. You're living above your means. That means you're paying for stuff that you can't afford to keep up or that you can't afford to pay for with the money that you're making. You're living above your means. And you want to live within your means. You want to live, to get ahead, you want to live below your means. But to be stable, you want to live within your means. You know what I'm saying? You want to live within your means. A lot of people in society are living above their means, and besides the fact that a lot of people in society are living above their means, the way that society is, you want to be prepared for the future. And you won't be able to be prepared for the future if you're living above your means. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also going to talk about why it's important to live below your means if you're trying to get on a spiritual journey. But right now, I'm gonna explain both of them. You know what I'm saying? It's important to live below your means so you can be at peace. You know what I'm saying? So you can be at peace. Because when you're living above your means, you're going to be stressed out because you're not going to be able to afford the stuff that you're trying to pay for. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to be forced into a situation where you're forced to live below your means instead of just making some changes in your life now. You see that it's kind of hard for you to keep up your bills. You see it may be hard for you to keep up this and that. And also in this video, I'm going to talk to y'all about, like why it's important also to minimize your expenses, which will also go intact with living below your means. You know what I'm saying? And what was I saying? You don't want to be forced into a situation where you're forced to live below your means and you're so used to living above your means, or you're so used to living, say you're used to eating out every day. You don't know how to cook. You just eat out every day, spend all your money on fast food, right? You spend all your money on fast food. And then you get into a situation where you can't spend money on fast food like that. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be used to you know what I'm saying, buying groceries and cooking food because you used to buying fast food all the time. You know what I'm saying? And then you being forced to not be able to go get your fast food and all that shit, that may fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? That may fuck with you. Then you're going to be like, damn, you're going to be extra stressed out. You're going to be stressed out. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be forced into a situation. Like, say, for instance, you got a 2-bedroom, right? And then you're forced, because you can't afford that 2-bedroom, that rent. You can't afford that rent. You're forced to live below your means. Now you got to move back in with your parents. You know what I'm saying? And you may not want to move back in with your parents. You know what I'm saying? But you forced to. And some people may not have the chance to, or it may not even be available. It may not even be an option to move back in with their parents. So if you can't move back in with your parents, you don't want to be forced in a situation now your ass is homeless. You know what I'm saying? Because you were living above your means. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's important to live within your means. And if you're trying to get ahead, live below your means. Minimize your expenses. If you got a Netflix and all this shit, you got a Netflix you paying for. You know what I'm saying? You got a high car note. You got high car insurance. You want to minimize those expenses. Call around the car insurance place and try to find a company that can insure your vehicle for a lesser rate. You know what I'm saying? Call around, try to find a company that can insure your vehicle for a lesser rate. Try to trade in your car. Try to get out of that car note situation and just get a vehicle that's already paid for. And the money that you'll be paying on the car note, Say you're paying 500, 600 bucks on the car note, right? And people get car notes because they don't want to deal with car problems and all the bullshit, right? Say you're paying 500, 600 on the car note, right? Excuse my tooth, my shit. I got my teeth pulled out, so if I'm talking kind of fucked up, my shit's still healing right now, right? So say you're paying 500 or 600 on the car note, right? And then you're paying 400 or 500 on car insurance because you're scared to have an older vehicle that you may have to get work done on, right? So say you're paying $1,000 a month just to drive your vehicle, compared to you can be having an older vehicle that you may think you're gonna need to put work in and all this shit, but even if you have to get stuff repaired on the older vehicle, you're gonna be paying less money than you're paying on the car note on a newer vehicle. So say you got an older vehicle, you got to get some brakes, right? And you're not gonna have to get the brakes every month. You're gonna have to just get the brakes that 1 month. You know what I'm saying? So say you got to get some brakes, all 4 brakes, rotors, all this shit, $300-$400, right? Or 200, $300, right? You pay that. You pay your car insurance, which is like $100 because it's a cheaper vehicle. So you ain't got to worry about the 500 and 500. And once you're getting, like, once you find a good mechanic, a trustworthy mechanic, it's not that bad having an older vehicle and getting work done on the vehicle. Because you're not going to have to do that shit every month. Once you get the work done on the vehicle, you're good. You can just drive this shit to work and you ain't got to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? So instead of living above your means, and let me finish what I was saying with this. I already said what I was saying. I already said what I was gonna say with that shit, right? But instead of living above your means, and then you fuck around and get your car impounded or some shit, because you can't afford that car note. Now you don't have a car, and you're forced into a situation. You know what I'm saying? You got your car impounded. You're forced into the situation now. You're forced to live below your means. You know what I'm saying? Instead of making them changes, like, okay, I got this $1,000 car note, $1,000 car insurance. Let me call around and try to get a cheaper car or get a cheaper car insurance. You know what I'm saying? Or you just get out of that car note situation, get a cheaper vehicle, minimize your expenses. You got a cheaper vehicle now. You don't have to pay no car note. That 500 you're spending on a car note every month. And it's not like when you have I'm not sure how this shit works, but it's not like when you have a car note, because when I had a car note and I had a car problems, I still had to pay for my fucking car problems. You know what I'm saying? I still had to pay for my car problems. So it's not like when you have a car note, they're going to just automatically pay for your car, but you still have to get your shit fixed. You know what I'm saying? It's just less that you have to get fixed because it's a newer vehicle. But at the same time, if you're getting your car fixed, an older vehicle, you're not going to be spending that much money. You're not going to be spending, what I'm trying to say is you're not going to be spending $500, $1,000 every month to get repairs. You're not going to be doing that. You're not. You may think that you're going to have to do that shit. You're not, though. You get your shit fixed. You know what I'm saying? You drive your car, you take care of your car, you'll be good. Just keep the repairs up on your shit, you'll be good. And you'll save money compared to paying a car note and insurance because you feel like, oh, I don't want to have an older vehicle. It's not going to be reliable. Just get the work done that you need on it. Keep the work up. Check engine light pop up on your shit, get it off. You know what I'm saying? Figure out what's wrong with it, get it off. Find a trustworthy mechanic that you've been dealing with for years, and find somebody that, find some good reviews online or whatever. Try to fill out the vibe and all that, and minimize your expenses. You know what I'm saying? Because you getting your car fixed when repairs pop up is going to be cheaper than you getting a car note. You know what I'm saying? You getting a 1-bedroom apartment is going to be cheaper than you having a 2-bedroom apartment. You know what I'm saying? Just minimize your expenses so you won't be forced to go back and stay with your people. You just be like, okay, I'm struggling with this 1-bedroom. Let me give me I'm struggling with this 2-bedroom. Let me give me 1-bedroom or a studio or something. Because the society it's hard out here. And you don't want to be forced to live below your means or forced in a situation that you don't want to be in. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's good to minimize your expenses so you always have something to fall back on too. So you have some money put to the side in case something pop up. And two, if you want to get on the spiritual journey, I'm gonna talk to you about the spiritual journey. And I talked about this in the previous video, but I felt like I wasn't really giving a lot of good information. You know what I'm saying? So if you're trying to get on the spiritual journey, it's really important when you're trying to get on your spiritual journey, trying to get on your journey, trying to have your awakening and all that. It's very important to live below your means. You want to have it so you don't have damn near no bills. You know what I'm saying? It's hard in society to have no bills because you have to pay rent and all this shit. But at the same time, you can make sacrifices. Make sacrifices so you can put more into yourself so you can have more for yourself in the future. Because if you just paying rent, you have no time to put no time in with yourself because you're working these jobs and the money that you're getting from the job, you're just paying rent. You don't have no time to try to go within and try to get on your journey and try to communicate with the Most High because you're so worried about paying these bills and all this stuff that that you may not be able to afford because you're living above your means. When you live below your means and minimize your expenses, you're gonna have less stress. You're gonna be worried about less stuff. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be worried about less stuff when you're living below your means. You're gonna be worried about less stuff, and when you're worried about less stuff, you're gonna be at peace. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be more at peace, and the more you're at peace, the higher your vibration will be, and the higher your vibration will be, the easier you'll be able to manifest positive stuff into your life. And when you're vibrating low, when you're walking around in a bad mood and all that, you could be potentially pushing away opportunities because you got to pay all these bills, right? You living above your means, you got to pay all these bills, so you walking around in a bad mood all day, and nobody's gonna want to approach you and offer you opportunity if you're walking around in a bad mood. You know what I'm saying? So if you're trying to get on your spiritual journey, it's very important to live below your means and minimize your expenses. At least live within your means. Don't be trying to get on the spiritual journey and you got all this material shit, all this material stuff you paying for, and you can't afford it. Because you ain't going to be able to get on your spiritual journey because you're going to be so attached to the material things that you have to keep up. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important to live below your means on your spiritual journey. And in a life period, you want to live within your means. You know what I'm saying? We're consumers. So a lot of society is consumers, man. You don't want to be a consumer because these companies pay millions of dollars to promote products to us. You know what I'm saying? Millions and millions of dollars to promote products to us. And how much money do you think they're making if they're spending millions of dollars on promotion? You know what I'm saying? How much money do you think they're making if they're spending millions on just promoting the product to you? And they're doing that shit for a reason because they want your ass to be a consumer. They don't want people to be saving their money. They don't want people to be, because once you're saving your money, people are only working these jobs and going to work because their ass is in debt. They may have to pay these bills. I'm pretty sure if everybody, all their bills were paid up and they had money put, nobody will be working these jobs, bro. And our oppressors know this shit, man. It don't matter what species you are. It don't matter if you're the inorganic species, the organic species. We're all being oppressed by the same oppressors. You know what I'm saying? We're all being oppressed by the same oppressors. And to anybody watching these videos, and when I get to talking about the high frequency shit, about how like we're not all the same species and all that, the reason I go so hard and try to make this shit known is really for my species, right? Because before the inorganic species can unite with the organic species, my species, right, the blacks and Latinos, right, all the attacks, like I tell you all the time, all the attacks are aimed at us. So if you Caucasian and you watching this and you feel offended for whatever I'm saying, I'm trying to wake my people up because my people are out here killing each other, right? The blacks and Latinos, they're out here killing each other. The black goddesses, the Latina goddesses, they out here using the gods for our money. And your species, the inorganic species, makes it hard for my people to get money. You know what I'm saying? And once my species sees that we're not the same as the Caucasians, the Asians, the inorganic beings, we will be able to unite because it's a lot of division within my species, within the black and the Latino community. There's a lot of gangs, there's a lot of religion, all the bullshit, right? And that's by design. So we can't see what some people see. And I see that we're different species, that our people are going through the bullshit because they don't want us to unite. You know what I'm saying? Because once we unite, all this shit's going to crumble. We ain't going to be paying no bills, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And our oppressors know this shit. That's why they have us divided with the gangs and all this, all the bullshit. So before the black people, the neuromelanated, carbonated, and iron ether beings, and the Latinos can unite with the inorganic species, we have to unite within ourselves first. And before we can do that, we have to realize that this is why they're treating us like this, black people. This is why they have us killing each other, because we are the ones with the superior genetics on the planet. You know what I'm saying? We are the ones with the superior genetics, the blacks and Latinos. That's why they have us killing each other. That's why I go so hard to get my people to see this shit. And if you're Caucasian and you're watching this shit and you feel, oh, we're all the same, no. Motherfucker, stop being selfish. That's you believing the lies, because the lies are catering to you and your species. Oh, of course you're going to want to believe the lie if the lie is saying that white people invented everything. Santa Claus is white. Jesus is white. The person that's going to come back and save us from this shit is white. Of course you're going to believe the lie because it sounds better than the truth. The truth is that the blacks and Latinos are the indigenous ones to this planet. Christianity, all this shit was man-made to cause division within our species. So when I get on here talking about, yeah, we're a different species, I'm speaking to my people so they can see this shit. And when I'm pointing out the differences, I'm pointing out the differences that my people probably see on a daily basis, but they don't pay no attention to it. Pointing out the differences, how these beings don't pay attention, etc. What I be pointing out, so my people can see that there's a difference between us and them. And once they see that there's a difference between us and them, they'll see that's why they have us, the blacks and Latinos, killing each other, shooting at each other with the bullshit, gang banging, the religion. That's why there's churches on every corner, so people can be divided. Muslims, Christians, black Israelites, everybody can be divided the whole time. Only thing that should be separating us is our genetics. And once we are all conscious of this shit, the inorganic species and the organic species, then we can unite and go against our oppressors, because we're all being oppressed by the same government. But we're not going to unite right now, Joe. Black people will wipe. No, we're not doing that shit, because white people always try to unite and try to take some shit over. We're not doing that shit. First, and white people, we're not going to make y'all, our oppressors, the people that are, and it's not the white people that we see on a daily basis. Same time as witches and warlocks driving around all this shit, trying to keep the frequency low. But the white people we see on a daily basis, they're not the enemy. The enemy is our oppressors, the government, all this shit, right? But before we can even realize that the government is the enemy, we have to realize that we are not each other's enemies. And I'm talking about the black people. You know what I'm saying? And once we realize that shit, then we can unite with the Latinos, because it's a lot of division. The blacks and Latinos, they think they're separate. You know what I'm saying? We're the same species. That's because our oppressors have it set up like this. So once the black gods and the goddesses unite, then we can get with the Latino gods and the goddesses. And then once the blacks and the Latinos are all on the same frequency, and we see what the fuck is going on, we see that there's a difference between us, then we can get with the human beings that aren't racist. And then we can motherfucking rise up against the system that's oppressing us, because we're all feeling this shit. We all got to pay bills. It don't matter if you white, if you black, if you got neuromelanin, if you got melanin, it don't matter, because we all going to the grocery store. We got to pay for shit. We got to pay bills. You know what I'm saying? We got to pay bills. This is the age of enlightenment, so the truth is going to come out. The truth has to be known, has to be told. And of course, the inorganic species is going to feel it. And there was some comments made on the video. I see that it says 7 comments, but I can only see 3 of them motherfuckers. I see the comment that the God, I believe it was a God that commented his branches on I. It looked like a neuromelanated being. You know what I'm saying? Only saw that comment. But anybody commented some bullshit, you have to understand that the government ain't shit. The United States government ain't shit, and they've been lying to us. We're not all the same species. And I'm not gonna make this video a whole different video. I'll make another video about this. But the reason why I go so hard for my people is because they have us killing each other. You don't see. Look at all of the white singers, all of the white people that are making music in the industry. They don't have to shake their ass and all this bullshit. But look at all the black singers, Glorilla, Sexy Red. They're shaking their ass. They degrading themselves because they are our species, and they're promoting that shit to our species, so our people can be vibrating low. So if you white and you watching this, you think I'm racist? Fuck you. Fuck you, because all the attacks are aimed at my people, bro. All the attacks is aimed at my people. They got my people killing each other. It's all the attacks aimed at us, bro. All the taxes aimed at us. And if you was out here on bullshit too, participating in the genocide, and your ass you didn't know why you was doing this shit, and you have an awakening and you wake up, you're going to be like, nigga, you're going to be mad too. You're going to want to tell your people this shit so your people can wake up too. You know what I'm saying? Because they want us out here killing each other. And we're out here killing each other. That's why I have to make this shit known that my black and my Latino people are a different species than the Caucasian. That's why they have the blacks and Latinos with the music promoting the bullshit to more blacks and Latinos that are actually in the environment where they are riding around with sticks and all this shit. They promoting the music to them so they can want to kill each other. It's not it's not the Latino and the black person in charge of the music industry. It's your species. It's the inorganic species in charge of the music industry promoting this shit to my people. That's why I have to make that. And it's not just me saying this shit. There's a lot of gods out here. Free Rashad Jamal. Free everybody that's out here trying to wake our people up. Or shout out to everybody out here that's trying to wake our people up. And free Rashad Jamal, because Rashad Jamal in the University of Cosmic Intelligence is the reason why I got on my spiritual journey. You know what I'm saying? Because I was out here thinking that Jesus was white. And if you want to get deeper on your journey, tap in with the University of Cosmic Intelligence. Tap in with Rashad Jamal and free Rashad Jamal. You know what I'm saying? Free Rashad Jamal, nigga. Free Rashad Jamal. You know what I'm saying? Free Rashad Jamal. If you're trying to get on your spiritual journey, tap in with him. He's really going to, you know what I'm saying, get you on the right path. Tap in with Rashad Jamal. If you want to get on your journey, tap in with Bobby Hemming. Tap in with Dr. Delbert Blair. Look at the old lectures on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And me and Bobby Hemming got the same birthday. Me and Bobby Hemming got the same birthday. You know what I'm saying? Besides all that, though, right? That's why I go so hard with these videos, letting it be known. It's not to make the inorganic species feel no type of way. And our oppressors probably think we're going to make y'all ass slaves. We ain't going to make y'all ass slaves, bro. We a peaceful species. We peaceful beings. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna get the fuck it. We peaceful beings. This black shit that makes that's the reason why our skin is this color is because we have neuromelanin in this shit. And we got the same shit in our brain, man. Y'all don't have that shit. Y'all different species. This shit has to be known so my people can know why the fuck they're doing what they're doing to us, having us kill each other and all this shit. Once they see this shit, they're gonna be like, okay, damn, we doing all this shit. That's what they want us to do. You know what I'm saying? And once I explain the differences that I see and that other people are doing this shit, I'm not the only person that's saying this shit. Cause what you going to the Caucasian? What you going? And a lot of these people that are commenting, you have to understand. If you're watching this video, if you're watching these videos, and somebody commenting on the comments saying some shit, I couldn't even see the comment, bro. I only saw 3 comments that say it's 7 comments though. I can only see the comment with somebody saying do DoorDash and the other comment that was explaining this shit. You know what I'm saying? And my comment, my response. You know what I'm saying to the other comment, asking if they have a soul. I only saw those 4 comments, the 3 comments plus my response. You know what I'm saying? But you have to understand, if you're watching these videos, it might be the government, FBI, all that shit commenting on these videos so you can motherfucking, so it can defer you from the message that I'm trying to give to y'all. You know what I'm saying? And besides all that shit I'm saying, this video is about why you should live below your means, but I had to just say that real quick. Because before black people and white people can unite, we have to make it known that y'all are a different species. Because if we unite now, my people think that y'all are superior. And that's couldn't be further from the truth. My black and Latino people think that white people are superior to us because that's what's being promoted. That's what's being told. Y'all think that shit is true too. Y'all think that y'all are superior to us. And that is furthest from the truth. Y'all have animal genetics. That's just the truth, bro. Y'all got animal DNA. You know what I'm saying? That's just the truth. So my people have to see this shit so they can realize what they doing to us and why they doing this shit to us. It's not me trying to make y'all feel no type of way. I'm gonna keep it real with my species first and foremost before I even try to do anything with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all don't have a soul. And that's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? So we have to get our species together, the blacks and Latinos, because y'all might be on bullshit. Y'all might not have pure intentions. You know what I'm saying? Coin to pro, all that shit. So I'm for my species first before I'm for anybody. You know what I'm saying? So back to the spiritual awakening and why you should live below your means on your journey. Especially if you're trying to get on a spiritual journey, because society is unpredictable, bro. Society is unpredictable. And you don't want to be having all this stuff, have a car note, have high rent, have all this stuff that you're paying for, and then you get laid off your job. You know what I'm saying? They cut your hours at work. You know what I'm saying? Anything. And now you have to figure out how you're going to keep this shit up. And that's going to be very stressful. And with that being very stressful, you ain't going to be able to worry about your purpose because you're going to be so attached to this physical. We're not here to pay bills and rent and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? We're not. But if you have all these bills and all this shit, right? And then something happened, you lose your job or they cut your hours, it's gonna be the end of the world. You damn near gonna be ready to unalive yourself because you living above your means and you don't know what to do. You've been living above your means your whole life. You got to pay these bills. You don't want to get your car repoed and all that shit. That's why it's important to live below your means on your journey, but you want to live within your means of life, period, and minimize your expenses. Don't be out here paying for all this shit, even if you can afford it, because anything can happen on your job, anything can change with your income, and once that changes, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how you're going to pay for your shit, and that's going to be very stressful. It's going to be very stressful. You're going to be putting out a lot of negative energy. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of this shit is set up by design. Us working these jobs, not having enough to pay our bills or having barely enough to go back to work. And it's all set up by design. Because if they pay you enough on your job for you to be up, you're not going to go back to fucking work. Then they're going to lose an employee. So they're going to pay you just enough to have your ass go back to work. So you don't want to be going back to work just to pay for the shit that you have, the material shit, because you're giving your spiritual energy to your job. You're giving your soul's energy to your job. So why would you want to be giving your soul's energy to your job and you have nothing to show for this shit? As soon as you get paid, it goes right to your account, direct deposit. You put it to your savings or you do whatever you want to do with it so it doesn't get snatched by the subscriptions you have. You know what I'm saying? And then when it's time to pay your rent, you pay the rent. You don't even see the physical cash. People don't even see physical cash nowadays because their money goes right into their account and they pay their bills online. Go to the grocery store and pay with 100. Or just go somewhere and spend $100 bill, give somebody, give $100, spend $100 bill. Not the whole shit, but just buy something with $100 bill. And watch how motherfuckers get to acting. Doing the extras, because motherfuckers aren't really spending cash like that. Everything's electronically. And y'all shouldn't be having all your money in the motherfucking bank. No way. Because they could just motherfucking cut the power off like when the power outage. And what the fuck you gonna do then? I ain't gonna make this video too long. But it's important. That's why I deleted the last video, because I start talking about some other shit. But it's important to live below your means. You know what I'm saying? You want to live below your means if you're trying to get on the spiritual journey, so you have more time to connect with yourself. You have more time to connect with yourself. You can't connect with yourself if you have to give all of your energy to our oppressors working these jobs. You know what I'm saying? You can't connect with yourself if you have to work these jobs 24/7. Not even 24/7, because when we get these 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, it ain't nothing but a lunch break, bro. This is a slave planet. Saturday and Sunday ain't nothing but a 2-day lunch break. You have to have some days to rest. If we can operate just 7 days a week without no motherfucking rest and still be able to work, we will be working 7 days a fucking week. Trust and believe. But we're not able to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? So they give us a 2-day fucking lunch break. You guys go do some shit for 2 days and you go back to work. You want to go back to work because you got to pay these bills. You got to pay these bills because you don't want to be homeless. You don't want to be homeless because, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be homeless. Nobody wants to be homeless. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? You got to pay your bills. So you guys going to go back to work and work these jobs. It's all set up like this. So sometimes you want to minimize your expenses, live below your means, you know what I'm saying? And make sacrifices so you can get ahead. Because it's how society, especially if you're black or Latino, bro. Especially if you're black, because the Latinos and the Mexicans is mixed in. You know what I'm saying? If you black, you don't want to be getting into no, and I'm saying black because if I say non-ether being, neuromelanated, carbonated being, you're not going to know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm going to make a video about that shit too. But if you're black, you know what I'm saying? Neuromelanated, carbonated, non-ether being, you don't want to be getting into no long-term financial relationships like a car note, a lease and all that, unless you have, you know what I'm saying, unless you good, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to motherfucker, if you work in a warehouse job and shit, don't be getting no lease and all this shit, trying to pay. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. But you got to know that these jobs, they'll fuck around and let you go. And you don't want to fuck around and be having all that stress and that negative energy because your job just lets you go. Now you got to figure out how you're going to pay your car note, figure out how you're going to pay your rent. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be in these long-term situations with these bullshit-ass jobs. Minimize your expenses and live below your means so you can be more at peace. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to make this video too long. Hope all y'all vibrating at a high frequency. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.